Let's thank all of us. Thank Joseph for nice introductory presentation of biogas and the technology of dry generation of biogas. We can use water. That are much lower. Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you, sir.
May I now invite Dr. Sanjay Patil, head of the Alcohol Technology and Byproducts Division at VSI Kanpur, VSI Pune. Dr. Sanjay Patil is also coming up with a equally brilliant presentation covering all aspects of compressed biogas generation. And I think you must have visited Dr. Sanjay Patil, the Varna plant as well. And if you can just spend a minute or two on highlighting its features. Dr. Sanjay Patil, VSI Pune. You are invited to make your presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Goel. Thank you, Mr. Vatnal. Thank you, Mr. Raskar. And good morning, all participants of this very important webinar organized by STI. In the beginning, I would your invitation to contribute in this this webinar. Production of CBG and fermented organic manure is a great opportunity for the sugar industry in India to diversify in value-added products, which is all of you know now it is the need of the time. And therefore, I have chosen the title of my presentation. I will try to share my screen. Yeah. The title of my presentation is, you can see, I have chosen the title as Circular Bioeconomy, Opportunity for Diversification for Sugar Mills in Bio-CNG. It is actually called as CBG and Organic Fertilizer. Okay, so, to start with, I'll briefly explain the term of circular bioeconomy. In fact, sugar industry biomass to CBG and organic fertilizer production is a perfect case of circular bioeconomy. The circular bioeconomy, in fact, focuses on the sustainable, resourceful valorization of biomass in an integrated multi-product production facility. We call them as biorefineries. It also includes making use of residues such as sugarcane trash or bagasse or PMC and waste, and optimizing the biomass production over time via cascading. And it includes three pillars of sustainability: the economic, environmental, and the social aspects. And here you can see I have tried to represent the circular bioeconomy in case of sugar industry in this diagram. So in a case of sugar industry, we produce different products: sugar, steam, power. We can also produce many other products such as lactic acid, biodiesel. We produce ethanol, we produce carbon dioxide, and CBG is one of the product probably which can be added to this. And then while producing CBG, we can produce fermented organic manure which can be recycled back. So this is the basic concept of the circular bioeconomy, and in this case, the production of CBG and fermented organic manure perfectly fits into the case of circular bioeconomy. As far as the importance of CBG production is concerned, probably most of you must be knowing, India imports almost 77% of its crude oil requirement and almost 50% of natural gas requirement. The target of Government of India for 2022 is to reduce import of crude oil and natural gas by at least 10% and increase the contribution of gas in India's energy mix from present 6.5% to about 15%. The world average is about 23.5%. And the Indian sugar industry has a big potential to produce almost 12,777 million uh, million meter cube of biogas per year. And then the CBG in commercial scale has many benefits. It can reduce the import of natural gas. It saves the foreign exchange and strengthens our energy economy. It also utilizes agriculture waste and other waste such as cattle dung to produce CNG. And it also is very important to reduce the emission and pollution levels, and it can generate rural economy and increase the farm incomes. Mr. Joseph has already dealt with the Satat program. It is launched by the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, and providing a developmental effort that would be very useful for the vehicle users as well as for farmers and entrepreneurs. The CBG produced will be transported through cascades. Mr. Joseph has already shown a picture of cascade cylinders to the network of the OMC's depots where you can deliver this CNG, and it is planned to roll out almost 5,000 CBG plant across the India in a span of about 5 years. So there is a good opportunity for the sugar industry to participate in this Satat program. And not only Satat program, there are many other supports given by the government of India. As I told you, the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas has flown the expression of interest setting up of CBG plant, and they are offering. Uh, so the apart from Satat program, the price which is fixed in the Satat program for CBG is 46 kg per 46 rupees per kg. And then there is also from the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, they have notified central financial assistance of rupees 4 crore per 4,800 kgs of CBG per day, and maximum cap of about 10 crore rupees per project. Then very recently, the Department of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare has come out with a notification that the fermented organic digestate coming out of the anaerobic digestion of bagasse, press mud cake, and other agro waste is now certified as a fermented organic manure under the fertilizer control order. So this is a very important development, and this is going to add to the economics of the CBG plant. In fact, the Ministry of Chemical and Fertilizer will be also providing marketing development assistance of almost rupees 1,500 per metric ton of organic manure produced, and therefore this organic manure will definitely fetch very good price in the market. And all these CBG projects will come under priority sector lending as from the Reserve Bank of India. In fact, these are the basic characteristics of the biogas, and all of you in sugar industry are aware about the biogas composition. We produce biogas from spent waste at about 55 to 60% methane content, about 40 to 45% of CO2, and trace amount of hydrogen sulfide. To produce CBG, we have to purify this biogas by removing H2S and CO2 and water vapor and compress it further. The biogas CBG has to be compressed to 250 bar and transported in cascade cylinders. The maximum design capacity of single CBG plant is 2 tons per day, as per the expression of interest floated by the government. And You can see in this table, I have tried to compare the calorific value of CBG with other fuels, and you can see the calorific value of CBG is quite good as compared to even ethanol, and therefore in future we will have very good potential for marketing the CBG. In VSI, we have been working with the production of biogas from various raw materials. Now we are setting up 2 pilot digesters in with some financial assistance from one of our member sugar mill, and where we will try to maximize the biogas yield from PMC, sugarcane bagasse, and sugarcane trash, and also we will try to use the mixture of all these three raw materials. And then we will also, very important aspect, we will also try to evaluate the efficacy of the solid and liquid fertilizers, the digested coming out of these digesters, because this is going to be really very important for the cost economics of the CBG plant. Our MOU between this sugar mill, Nira Bhima, has been signed. Our digester foundation work is in progress, and by end of May, probably we will be able to commission these digesters. I am giving you, based on our laboratory research, the present status of our research and what is the theoretical potential. From PMC, we can expect on weight basis about 130 to 150 meter cube of biogas. And right now we have achieved 120. That was our target. From sugarcane bagasse and trash, the estimated biogas theoretical yield is somewhere around 400 to 450. Our current yields are about 150. We want to reach about 300. But Mr. Joseph has explained that even if you go up to 200 or 250, that is that will be quite economical. Of course, in the case of sugarcane bagasse and sugarcane trash, the critical component is particle size distribution and what kind of pre-treatment you are going to use. And as far as PMC is concerned, there is wide variation of composition of PMC from place to place, and therefore there will be a good amount of variation in the yield of biogas from PMC also. So these are the technology components of the CBG plant. I am considering the use of lignocellulosic raw materials also, and therefore I am considering pre-treatment in case of biomass and other agro waste. Then it will be followed by anaerobic digestion, conversion of organic matter to biogas. Here we'll try to maximize the yield from PMC and other agro waste. Then there are technologies available for hydrogen sulfide removal. There are technologies available for carbon dioxide removal also. And this will be followed by 3 or 4 stage compression of purified biogas to 250 bar. In fact, in pre-treatment, we have been using different kinds of pre-treatments. We have very successfully used hydrodynamic cavitation. It is an patented technology. And very briefly, I will explain that cavitation is a phenomenon of formation, growth, and a very rapid collapse of cavities in the liquid. And the collapse of cavities generate localized hotspots with very high pressure and temperatures, with formation of localized shear on the molecule, and this leads to the formation of highly oxidant OH radicals. The shear and the OH radicals then pretreat the lignocellulosic biomass physicochemically and favoring the utilization of sugarcane bagasse and sugarcane trash. We are also trying to use steam explosion. Steam explosion is a physicochemical treatment technology in which biomass is heated to about 160 to 260 degrees centigrade at a pressure of about 7 to 50 bar for a very short time of about 30 seconds to 20 minutes. And then the pressure is rapidly released, causing an explosion effect on the cells of the molecules of the lignocellulosic biomass, and this treatment then helps in biogas production by loosening the hemicellulose and lignin molecules. We have been also using alkali and acid treatment in our other biomass to ethanol production process, but use of acid and alkali treatment generally increases organic content, which can adversely affect the anaerobic digestion, and therefore we have now used alkali treatment for the pre-treatment as far as biogas is production. As far as the anaerobic digestion is concerned, the basic difference, all of you are familiar with spent wash digestion, and spent wash contains mostly dissolved organic solids, whereas the lignocellulosic such as PMC, sugarcane bagasse or sugarcane trash will contain suspended solids, and that is the difference between the spent wash and the biomass. So the digester configuration has to be customized to handle the above types of suspended solids, and we have to maintain required retention time. So there are different types of digester. Mr. Joseph has already explained. We have CSTR wet digester with adequate arrangement of mixing by providing central and lateral agitators. In some technologies, we have submerged agitators also available for CSTR technology. Then Mr. Joseph has already explained the dry fermentation. Then uh, Praj has come out with a plug flow reactor in which it mimics the plug flow reactor, only mixing in radial direction and minimal or no axial mixing. As far as Spintos digester for Prismad cake or sugar bean bagasse is concerned, in VSI we are trying to modify the existing Spintos digester by performing CFD analysis for PMC and sugarcane bagasse. And in fact, two of our member sugar mills have shown keen interest in PMC and sugarcane bagasse trials with existing digesters. If you use existing digester, there will be big saving in capital investment, and that is why we are trying to find out whether existing Spentos digester can be used for either for Prismad cake or also for sugarcane bagasse. In fact, for hydrogen sulfide removal, there are different technologies available. There are we have many plants based on biological fixation. In Maharashtra, we have about 4 plants which are using biological fixation, and this technology has been used very successfully. But there are many other technologies available. I have given some pros and cons. I may not be able to go through all these technologies, but depending on your location, depending on your priorities, you will have to select one of the technologies. Then for carbon dioxide removal also, there are many technologies available. Mr. Joseph has already shown this slide. We have pressure swing absorption, water scrubbing, amine scrubbing, and membrane is the recent addition, and membrane has got very good advantages. And depending on your requirements, you will have to select one of the technology. This is the business model given by the oil marketing companies. In fact, the sugar industry will be the producer, so you will produce biogas. Then from biogas, you will produce CBG, and you will transport it by cascades, or you can transport it by pipelines to the branding, retailing, or dispensing units of the oil marketing company. In fact, you can also set up your own retailing unit, and for that purpose, the oil companies can give you additional 2 rupees per kg of CBG for setting up infrastructure at retail outlet, and rupees 0.5 per kg for electricity charges. And of course, the basic price, as explained by Mr. Joseph, is 46 rupees plus GST. So this is the price being offered by the oil companies. I will now come to some of the models which we are proposing. You can see this model. In this, we are considering distillery with an incineration boiler. So when you have an incineration boiler, probably you are not using your press mud cake. So that press mud cake can go for CBG production. And this is a very important aspect. Please note down it that in CBG production, apart from the raw material price, the second important price is the electricity price in the cost of production. And therefore, if you can provide electricity from your incineration boiler or from your, because your incineration boiler is going to run 300 days. So if you can provide electricity and steam from your incineration setup to the CBG setup, then probably you will have very good advantage. So that is what we are considering here, that the incineration boiler will run for 300 to 350 days, and that will provide steam and power to the CBG plant. And the power cost in CBG plant is going to be a very critical aspect. And then for this press mud cake, you can have a separate anaerobic digester, and from this anaerobic digester, the biogas will be purified, compressed, and the digestate will come out. We can use decanter to separate the liquid and solid, and the solid can go for drying, and you can sell this as fermented organic manure, and even the liquid will go as the soil conditioner. And we are doing a quite good amount of research on these two products. What will be the potential of these two products as far as the value is concerned? Then the second model we are considering, this where we in distilleries we already have anaerobic digestion, and this biogas we can take for purification. And if you can provide some press mud cake, of course you know that the anaerobic digestion in the distilleries won't run more than 270 days. So on an average, they will run for 250 days. You have to provide CBG 300 days to the oil companies, and therefore you will require an additional digester which will run for about 50 to 100 days. So you will have to start this digester at least 15, 20 days prior to stabilize this digester, and then produce biogas in this digester in the off season and supply it to the oil companies. Uh, of course, for the spent wash digester, you will have to go for zero discharge. But from the press mud cake, as per the new norms, and this comes under the green category, you can produce the solid and liquid conditioner, and you can sell this. This is not zero discharge norms. Then if you have existing anaerobic digester, this is what we are working on, that it will run 250 days on spent wash, and we are trying to modify this digester in such a way that we will be able to use press mud cake in this digester also, so that this digester will run about 50 to 100 days on the press mud cake. And therefore you will avoid the cost of establishing a separate digester. Of course, in this case, you cannot produce the fermented organic manure or the liquid conditioner. You can take this biogas purification and take it to the compression. And the third model, many distilleries are now going for the production of spent wash powder. In that case, your PMC press mud cake is saved, and that press mud cake you can establish a separate digester, and you can take this biogas to produce solid and liquid fertilizers. And you can take the anaerobic digester running on spent wash will run for 300 days, and the PMC digester will also run on 300 days. So you will have good quantities of biogas being generated, which you can take for purification and compression. I will try to give some economics. This is for the existing biogas to CBG. This is not for the PMC to CBG. So here we are considering about 1,000 meter cube of biogas generation per hour. That is about 24,000 meter cube per day. These are the characteristics of the biogas generated. It will contain about 58% methane, 35% CO2, 3.5%, because this is from spent oil. It will contain about 3 to 5% of hydrogen sulfide. So these are the characteristics. These are the this is the quantity of CNG which can be generated from this 24,000 cubic meter of biogas. In terms of kg, it will be about 10 tons per day. It will contain about 95 to 96% of methane, 4 to 5% carbon dioxide, little amount of hydrogen sulfide. So this is the norms required by the oil companies. Now this is the estimated cost of our plant for removing the H2S CO2 for compression to 250 bar, and biogas piping, storage cascade, and the other civil and structural work. Of course, in this, there is no cost of digester considered. This is for the existing biogas, spent was generated biogas to CBG. So we are considering about capital investment of about 15.5 crores. If you include a PMC digester, depending on the technologies, depending on the type of biodigester, I think this can go to about 30-35 crores if you include the PMC digester. And this is the operating cost. Of course, this operating cost will vary depending on what are the H2S and CO2 removal technologies which you are going to use. Here we are using a particular in a particular case, we have worked out the cost economics. You can see that because this is attached to our cogeneration unit, we are considering electricity price of 6.7 rupees per kilowatt hour, and then you can see caustic, nutrient, and other. So the total operating cost is about 30,000 rupees, and that comes to about rupees 28.8 per kg of CBG produced. But what I want to bring to your kind notice is that you can see the cost of electricity is almost 85,000 rupees. Now, suppose if this electricity comes from your distillery boiler, which is going to run 300 days, then this price will come down substantially. It can be about 1 rupees only, and therefore then your cost of production will come down. So my intention here is to explain you that your CBG plant has to be attached to your distillery plant, and your electricity which is generated in a distillery boiler you can design your distillery boiler in such a way that it will provide electricity not only to your distillery unit, but it will also provide additional electricity to your CBG plant. Then your cost economics will become very favorable. So here you can see the profit generated. Here, if we consider the 46 rupees price, the total expenses I have explained 28.86 rupees, and then your payback is somewhere around 1.77 year. This is a simple payback. In this case, you can also produce CO2. We have not considered CO2 revenue, and we have also not considered the additional revenue in case of if you use PMC or sugarcane trash or sugarcane bagasse for the fermented organic. This is not considered. If you consider this, we will have to work out separate economics. So see, the other important aspect in this case is that you can sell CBG as explained by Mr. Joseph, that you can use, you can sell it for industrial use also. There is no restriction on that. In fact, some of the plants which are installed in Maharashtra, they are selling it in the industrial area, and they have even they are getting even a price of about 60 rupees per kg. So nearness to industrial area will be an added advantage. Nearness to the CNG depot of oil marketing companies will be also an added advantage, because you have to bear the transport cost of the CNG to the oil depots. Sugar mills can set up their own CBG pumps also. The advantage of sugar mills is that we have well-established supply chain for PMC and sugarcane bagasse, and we can also collect sugarcane trash if we require it. In future, Direct injection of CBG in CNG grid is also possible. Then you need not compress it to 250 bar, so your compression cost will be reduced. You can inject it at 5 bar also. Power cost in cost of production of CBG is very critical factor. Grid or MSCB power will be very costly. Power for 300 days from Disley boiler, TG set can be very important. And other feedstocks such as co-feeding with cow dung or poultry waste or dairy waste, and the availability will be also an added advantage. Sugar mill capacity, attached distillery capacity, distillery operation days, availability of press mud cake will determine the CBG plant capacity. Someone was asking this question. The land requirement for 10 TBD plant will be about 8 to 10 acres. This is for the storage of press mud cake as well as for the sun drying of the organic fertilizer, which has to be sun dried. So you will have to use some impervious concrete compost yard kind of thing. So we'll require about 1 to 1.5 acre for the cascade storage also. Sugarcane trash can be better substrate than bagasse because the prevailing bagasse price is about 1,800 to 2,000 per ton. And nowadays, diesel to CBG conversion kits are also available. So sugar mills can think about converting their tractors and trucks in their area of operation. So there they can install their own CBG plant and provide these CBG kits to the tractors and trucks in their area. And this is one of our sugar mill is now putting up a CBG plant, their own CBG plant, and they are going to provide these CBG kits also for conversion of their tractors and trucks. So in conclusion and coming to the way forward, I can say that the government initiatives such as central financial assistance, the CBG purchase price at 46 rupees, the organic manure production and subsidy, priority sector lending from RBI will be now very critical for CBG sustainability. With announcement of Satat scheme, the scenario is now poised to change, and fermented organic manure will have huge potential in future, and this is going to be the game changer in coming days. So the expected price of fermented organic manure is at least rupees 3 rupees per kg. In fact, some of them are selling at 3 rupees per kg, but expected price can go up to even 7 rupees per kg. And selection of appropriate technologies for anaerobic digestion, H2S removal, CO2 removal is very important. And this is going to be a critical factor in determining when you are going to install the CBG plant. Production cost will be site specific and technology dependent. So what technologies you are going to select for H2S and CO2 removal are going to determine your production cost. I will say that in future, every sugar mill or distillery complex can have CBG plant in future. OMC should pay transportation cost at actual, as in the case of ethanol. Now they are paying the transportation cost for ethanol also. So if that can be done, we don't there are no oil depots available nearby, so they will have to transport it to the long places. So that is the that is probably OMC may give us the transportation cost. And PMC and trash has an opportunity cost, and this cost can increase in future, and this has to be also taken into account. And there are many few parties available which are ready to set up CBG plant on boot basis. So if you want, you can go for boot basis CBG plant. But in my opinion, considering the the whole economics, considering the importance of organic manure production. I think that every sugar mill should try to set up their own CBG plant, which will be definitely very attractive in terms of the cost economics. So this is what I wanted to bring to your kind notice. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjay. It is very nice presentation, and I definitely agree with you that each sugar industry should have this CBG plant. And along with that, the CBG kit, as you said, the CBG kit also should be provided by the sugar industry to all the transporters. A lot of vehicles movement is there in the sugar industry, and we should utilize all those through CBG. Thank you very much, Dr. Sanjay. And I wish that VSI will further give a lot of new technologies to sugar industry in the development. Mr. Amit.
So now we can move on to the next presentation from Paraj Industries, the Paraj unique value proposition for converting sugar distillery waste to CBG. So I invite Mr. Basavaraj for his presentation.